welcome to another video. So in the last one we looked at writing basic HTML stuff. If you haven't watched that one, I suggest you go back. I'll give you a link to go and watch that. And in this video we're going to be looking at basic CSS. So here is our HTML code, and this is what it looks like in the browser. So we need to create a CSS document. So the best way to do that is just say File, New File, come down to the bottom again, change plain text to CSS, and excellent. So first thing we want to do is style the body. So in here you can see we've got these body tags, which, as I said in the last video, holds all the content that is displayed in the web page. So the issue we will have, and I'll show you this now, is you can see that the text here isn't quite to the edge. Right? That T, 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 G would all be right on the edge. And so the way we fix that is we go HTML, comma, body. So we're saying anything in HTML tags and anything in body tags do this. Now, we don't have the HTML tags because we took them out, but it's good practice to put them in there in case the browser adds them itself. And the body tags, we're styling these, so anything in between those. So we do open curly bracket, and that will put 2, and open and close and hit enter. So that will correct the syntax for us. So now what we want to do is we want to make sure that this here goes edge to edge. So we say margin, and that is the distance between the top of an element and the top of the screen, or the left of the screen, right of the screen, bottom of the screen. Margin, so margin, colon, 0, and it's put the semicolon in there for us. That is the syntax of CSS rather, is the name of the element you're using, colon, what value, and then a semicolon to close it. So we've done that. Now we want to hit enter to get onto the line and say padding, colon, 0, semicolon, save. Now padding is the distance between an element within itself. So how can I explain this? I'll come back onto this in a bit and I'll explain exactly the difference between margins and paddings. Anyway, so we want to save this into our CSS folder, which we created in the last video, and we'll call it whatever you want, but we'll call it style.css. Now, if we reload our page, nothing happens. Why is nothing happening? Nothing's happening because we haven't told the HTML, the index.html document, to look for this CSS document and style accordingly. So we need to add in a link. This is where we go back to our head tags, where I said that we have our title, drop a line, open power, link, and then we do rel equals style sheet, telling it it's a style sheet, which is what we're trying to find. Type, so the type of text that's going to be in, the type of code is text. You always say text / CSS. If it was a JavaScript document, we would do text / JavaScript. Again, we would be looking at links, we'd be looking at script tags. I'll come on to that in another video. And then we want href, so we're looking for the path of the document, and for us it is CSS / style.css, and that is it. Now, this is where it gets a bit different to other tags we've done. In other tags, the syntax has always been create a tag, close it off, content, and then do a closing tag like this. In links, you would think that it would be like this. Okay? That's how you would think it is, but it's not. What you actually do is you do a space, / and just a close power. That is it. There's no other tag. So you save that, go back, and watch the distance between here and here. See? It's now edge to edge, completely edge to edge. Okay? So that's good. So that's what we've done there. So go ahead and have a play with that. Now, any code we write in this document will affect anything in here. So let's go ahead and change the colour of the H1. So So what we want to do is create a new element, so h1. So we're defining anything in h1 tags on the page. This is going to be a universal style for our page. Open the curly brackets. Now we want to change the colour of the text. It's very simply colour, the American spelling, and we shall change it to blue. There's two ways you can do this. You can actually write the word blue, and that will give you the general definition colour for blue that the browser decides, so it's going to vary on every browser. I never recommend doing this because you might have a shade of blue you like, and in different browsers it'll appear differently and it might contrast. You get into all sorts of trouble. So the next best thing is to use hex codes. So we say hashtag, and I know I shouldn't say hashtag, it's a Twitter term, but we'll go with hashtag. Hashtag, and the one I like is 0088CB. Save that. Let's go and reload our browser, and you can now see that is this shade of blue. Now let me just show you what happens if we just type the word blue. You get this very, standard darkish blue. It's not very appealing. With modern web design we use what's called flat UI, flat colours, and this code is quite flat, quite nice and cool, so we'll go ahead with that. Now we want to change our H2s. So on this we're going to leave them black, so standard, we'll leave them alone. Again, H2, open brackets, and we're going to change the weight, so how bold or light the font is. So we're going to say font dash weight. You can see here when I do font dash, it gives me all the different variables, things I can affect on the font. Okay, size, family. So we'll go through these quickly. Size, how big it is. Family is the kind of font you want to use. Style and weight. Well, weight is what we're going to be using now. So we want to use font weight. So we're going to grab font weight, and then we're going to use 100. So it's very, very light. And the highest we can go is 900, I believe. So the higher number you go, you can only go in values of 100. So you can't do 110. You have to do 200 is the next. And the higher number you go, the bolder the text becomes. You can also do stuff like light, lighter, bold, bolder. But let's just go for 100. See how it's gone very, very thin now? If we change it to 500, the browser has decided that 500 is not any heavier, but 600 is, and if we go up to 9, again no. So it seems to have just the two, try 7. Yeah, it seems to just have the two different weights. The safest one I would go for is 200 because it's not so light in some browsers that it's unreadable, but it still looks quite flat, and Apple use a lot of light weighted fonts, which are very nice. And so the last thing we're going to do is change the paragraph text to a different font family. As we say, let's see if we can use Helvetica. Let's try this now. Yeah, so we've gone from Times New Roman, which is default, to Helvetica, which is so much nicer and easier to read. Now, Helvetica isn't universal on all browsers and all computers. It's used on all Macs because that is the font that Apple uses. Some people might argue they use Arial, but they use Helvetica. On PCs though, it's often not there. So what would happen is, it would look at it and go Helvetica, the PC would go, I ain't got that, and it would default back to Times New Roman. But all computers have sans serif. Okay, it's not like Comic Sans. It looks nothing like Comic Sans, don't worry. So what we do is we say comma, sans serif. Okay, and what this will do is it will basically say, if you haven't got this font, try this font, and you can do as many as you want. If you haven't got sans serif, do Arial if you want. So if I put in a load of rubbish in there, that font doesn't exist, reload, see how the text actually doesn't change? Because sans serif is very similar to Helvetica. I don't want to update my computer. So we'll leave it at that. There we go. All good. Okay. Alright, well, I want to change the background colour of my website. Cool. So we've got our body here. So we'll drop a line. Now we just want to change the colour. We don't want to have a background image. We don't want to have the background a certain size or anything like that. Just background colour. So we'll specifically define background colour. So we've got size, origin, colour, click, position, attachment, repeat. We're going to go for colour. You can put colour straight into just the background, but we'll define it for now. And let's have a background of red, which is going to look horrible, but for this example it's quite good. So we can either just put red, which will give us that, or if you want to define it, even though this will look no different, but it is red in hex, is FF0000. Again, see, still red. We could have green, 2BB673, or we could have blue if wanted, which then means we can't see our text here, but it's there. Or this last one for a bit of fun, charcoal, which is that. And then if anyone wants to know what black is, it's 0000. It's always 6 characters. Now if you come across a hex code that is the same all the way through, like black or white, you only don't have to put all 6, you can just put 3. So if I do, it's white, black, yeah, so you can do them like that. So let's have our background as red. Good. So we've got a background colour, different text colours, weights, and font families. Now, on the links, we get this default underline. Don't want that. Looks terrible. So let's go for A, because remember, our link is in A tags. Open the curly brackets again. It's always the same syntax. And we will go text decoration. So, you know, what we're making a text look like. Are we adding underlines or overlines or through lines, or what are we doing? We want to say none. We don't want any default browser text decorations on our A-links. This will get rid of our underline. See? Reloaded the page and it's gone. And also, let's make our A tags blue, because links are often blue, aren't they? So if we'll do whatever the browser's blue is, we'll go for that. So we'll say colour, and we'll put the word blue and let the browser decide. So we get this, which looks quite nice, like an A tag in general. So there you go, guys. That's how you do styling to different elements. There's a lot more to do on this, but keep it basic for now. So you can now go away, have a play with your HTML, link in a CSS file, and have a mess around. So if this was helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in another one. Thanks, guys.